I've got a little saying that goes, if it's not messy, then it's not fun. But for today's session on the Virtual Village Hall, I'd like to park that idea because I've got a really great activity for you if you are entertaining children this summer holiday, that while it's definitely fun, it's not too messy. I don't know about you, but when I was a kid, I absolutely loved making papier mache sculptures. But there's so much wallpaper paste. There's a lot of mess and they take forever to dry. So I've got an idea for you that you can use for your children if they're off school this summer to make these paper mache sculptures without the mess that have a very similar effect. Now, it's a tried and tested workshop that I run for children during the school holidays, and they absolutely love it. It really gets the thumbs up. It catches their imagination and they're quite happy to do it just for a couple of hours. If you don't have to base it on a theme, but I quite like to use the theme Fantastic Beasts. Now, I always start with a poem about hybrid animals in a magical world. And I'm going to put that poem in the comments for you if you might find it useful, but use any theme you want. And then what they do, they draw out their design and then using recyclable materials like cardboard tubes, magazines, newspaper, and then some craft items like masking tape, tissue paper, these pipe cleaners, then they make their sculptures. So if you'd like to find out how to do it, then please do carry on watching. I'm going to pop you down. I'll talk you through a little bit more what you need and then how to do it. Okay, so I've got my various recyclables in front of me, my newspaper, cardboard tubes. I've also got my pipe cleaners, so they're going to add a bit of structure, and also the masking tape. They're the first things that you're going to need. You might need some scissors, but pretty much most of this can be torn. So once they've done their design, they want to start making the structure. So my design is based on kind of a fish. So it's going to have a bit of a dolphin's tail, and then I'm going to add a head. I'm thinking of, I might go for sort of a bear's head, but we'll see how that one goes. So I've just taken my cardboard tube, I've taken 2 pipe cleaners, and I have folded them up a few times just to make them a little bit stronger, give a little bit more structure, and then just using masking tape, I've just secured them to the tube. They don't have to be too secure because this is all going to be wrapped in paper and masking tape as well, so don't worry too much about that, just as long as they hold until you're at that point. I then want to give my sculpture a bit of a neck like that, so I've just taken a cardboard tube, or you can just take any cardboard paper, any cardboard, and I'm just going to make a smaller tube and attach that. This is really useful as well if you've got lots of odds and ends of masking tape. Somehow I've got lots of rolls of different sizes that are taking up space and they just need using up, so it's a great way to use up the masking tape. So I'm just going to spend a few minutes making this structure. If you've just joined us, we are making papier mache type sculptures. This is based on a workshop I do called Fantastic Beasts. So great if you have got children at home this holiday and you need to entertain them. You want to get them off the screens, get their imaginations going. And don't forget, if you're involved in any children's craft clubs, use this one as an idea. Or if you belong to any children's holiday groups for the summer holiday, like on Facebook, then please don't forget to share. Please don't forget you can share this with your groups or with your friends and family. Just hit the share button, or if you want to save it for later, then find the 3 dots that will be just in a row. Click on those and then click save the video, and you can watch. You've got it for later. So I've got my dolphin type tail. It's got its body and then his neck, and then I'm just going to use just screwed up newspaper. It's going to be a bit noisy just to make that head. You can use any paper for this, scrap paper that you think is never going to be used that's in the craft box. You can use packaging paper as well. So I'm going to start stuffing that body, stuffing the head. I might just pop it in sellotape. It's going to look so messy to start with. That's a good size. So I'm just making that into a head. At the moment it's looking a bit like an otter when otters lay on their back. But it's going to be something. Perhaps a mermaid. It's looking a bit mermaid-like as well. And then once you get the masking tape on, then you can start manipulating it a bit more, sculpting it a little bit more. But I'm happy with that at the moment. So let's work on the tail. I want the tail to be a bit longer. So almost mermaid-like. I'm just going to wrap the newspaper around the pipe cleaners. Okay, so that's the tail part done. It's definitely looking like a mermaid. So I think I'm going to need to give this this head more like a snout and some ears. So let's try that out. So I'm using the newspaper to make the shapes. The masking tape is holding that all down, and then I'm just using my hands to manipulate it and sculpt it into the shape that I want. I'm just thinking this is a bit fat, so I'm going to take this in just slightly. And I want to give this little ears. It's possibly one of the more unusual activities I've shown you on the virtual village hall. There we go, you can see, if you can see that taking shape a bit more. Once I've got the tissue paper on the colour, you can see it a bit more. I've got the other ear on. Build that up a bit more. That ear's a bit smaller than the other one. I want them about the same size. Okay, so there we have the head. I'm going to make the body slightly slimmer. It's a bit more streamlined, because I won't be able to swim in the water so well if it's not streamlined. And I love that, and these are the ideas that the children are thinking as they're going along, and you can talk to them about what sort of environment their animal would live in, and their imagination just really runs wild. Okay, so that's my basic shape. It's going to be a hybrid deer bear dolphin. That's the look I've gone for. So I just need to finish it off with masking tape. Just wrap all the way around it, and then that gives us a really good base for adding our colour, which we're going to just do with tissue paper. So bear with me while I just finish off. Again, I'm just sculpting a bit more. Actually, I'm just looking at this tail thinking no dolphin has a tail like this. So we're going to change it up. It's just it's a fish tail. And then because we've got the pipe cleaner in it, we really can bend it to any shape we want. Okay, let's do a little bit more work on the head. just want to do it so we can't see any of the newspaper anymore, so that when we put the tissue paper on, we don't have any of the colours of newspaper coming through. We can just see the colour of the tissue paper. To lay down, so let's see if I can make the base a bit flatter. So nearly finished. I'm just going to do the underside, and then we can start adding colour. And you really can just go as crazy as you want with this. If you've got Posca pens, if you didn't want the mess of PVA glue and tissue paper, which I would say is less messy than Papier Mache, but still a little bit messy, then you can use Posca pens. You could paint this with acrylics. Oh, I just thought I might put the fin on. There we go. Sorry about that. I think it definitely needs a fin. It hasn't got any side fins, so I'm going to put like a dorsal fin, I think. I mean, don't limit this to children's activities. It's a lot of fun just to play. You know, I think we lose that, don't we, as we get older. Oh, there we go. Look, 2 masking tapes. They're done. So that's good. That saves up a bit of space in the cupboard. Just those odds and ends. Okay, put that dorsal fin on. I have to see if I can somehow sort out the weight distribution. Okay, I think that's the last bit of masking tape going on. Okay, so if you've just joined us, you're probably wondering what on earth is going on the virtual ritual this morning. One of the stranger activities that I've shown you, but what we are making is Papier Mache type sculptures, and I'm basing them on a theme of fantastic beasts. I'm going to put a poem in the comments section so you can read it to your children. Maybe it's about hybrid animals and magical worlds that they live in, and then you can use that as a basis for them to come up with an idea for their own fantastic beast. So this is my sample one with that's all completely finished, and then this is the one that we've been working on this morning, and I'm going for a bear's head with got a dorsal fin there, and then a fish tail, maybe a mermaid's tail. It started as a dolphin's, but it's got more of a fish-like tail. So I've used a cardboard tube as my structure with pipe cleaners. Then I've just made the head out of screwed up newspaper, so all recyclable materials, and then covered it in masking tape, which has given us a nice base to then add tissue paper, and that's what I'm going to do now. So I've got my PVA glue. I often find PVA glue can be a bit thick, especially for putting onto delicate materials like tissue paper. So I've just watered it down with a little bit of water, just in there, just a dash of water, till you get a good consistency that's going to not rip tissue paper as you put it on. If you haven't got any tissue paper, then you can just use magazines. I mean, it's actually quite fun to use human features on these as well. So cut out eyes, nose, ears, hair, and you can stick those on. I'm going to use the tissue paper today, and I'm thinking stripes with this one. I went spots on my animal here, but I'm going to go stripes. So I think I'm going to go for a yellow base and maybe some red stripes. So just make sure all that masking tape is stuck down. And actually putting that fin on, you can see he or she has got a little bit more balance now. Oh, and I've missed a bit. Who knows? So start adding our tissue paper. I would tear this up into smaller parts. It's easier to stick on than having one long piece of tissue paper. So I didn't say totally without the mess. So this bit can get slightly messy. So we want to start by coating the body. And then just folding that tissue paper, placing the tissue paper on, folding it all around the curves. Actually, I might have changed my mind. This might be a squirrel's head rather than a bear. I think the snout's a bit long for a bear. So we've changed it to squirrel. And once your base colour is done, once they've done that, they can then start adding any details they want. So they could add stripes, spots, any shapes they want. Don't forget to add faces, so eyes, one eye, multiple eyes. The options really are endless with that one. So they're going to just need to dry in between. They're probably putting the next details on. I might just whack some stripes on. Okay, and you can see it really starts coming together once you put those colours on. So just need to add some eyes. You could stick these or you could just draw them. My hands are a bit sticky now. It's quite fiddly. There we go. Then you can cover that in, they can cover that in PVA glue, and that will give it a really good kind of coating. And there you have your fantastic beasts. Well, I had a lot of fun doing that, and I hope you will too. I hope you and your children have lots of fun doing that. Please do give me any comments in the comment section. Let me know what you thought of today's session, or if you have any questions from today's session too. I will post the poem in the comments so that you can use the Fantastic Beast theme as well for your summer holidays. I've got another summer holiday session coming up in the next couple of weeks. That will be jelly printing for children. So if you like what you see here, then please do stick around or join us next time on the Virtual Village Hall. Thank you so much, and I will see you again soon. Have a great week. Bye.